Before we jump in, I do want to introduce Isaac Navias. He is the CEO and founder of LocalFi, which is who you're here with today. He spent more than a decade helping businesses grow, adapt, and compete online, and over the last year especially, he's been deeply focused on one of the biggest shifts happening in business right now, and that is consumer behavior has changed. And now everybody's going to AI and asking who to trust, where to go, who to spend their money with. So Isaac has been brought in as a teacher and speaker by organizations like Local First Arizona, AZ Commerce Authority, ASU, and even University at Buffalo. And he leads LocalFi, an award-winning SEO agency and AI visibility agency that recently became the first and only green certified marketing agency in Arizona. Woo woo. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to you, Isaac, so you can talk to us about the new age of answers and how to make sure AI recommends your business.
So the stats are pretty crazy. So some of the stats that we're seeing, and one of the biggest things we're seeing across the industry is website clicks are going down significantly. AI overview, when it appears, 80% of those searches end with no click. That means that customers are just looking at the AI overview and not clicking on any websites at all. And 60% click on the AI overview. So the AI overview on just Google search has become huge, and you have to understand how your website plays a role in that, considering that less and less people are actually going to be clicking on your website. Nearly 3 out of 5 consumers search online multiple times a day, and 47% use AI to help making purchasing decisions. One of the most startling stats to me was that in 2025, 6% of consumers used AI to find a business. In 26, 47% of consumers are using AI to find a business. In my over 15 years of doing this type of online marketing, this is the fastest adoption I've ever seen of a completely new way of finding businesses. 2017, one of my first clients actually runs a dentist company, and he had been using the Yellow Pages for about a decade to drive customers. He'd been doing ads in the Yellow Pages, had done extremely well, and yet he saw his lead sources drying up, so his business coach referred him to me, and I actually helped him get online. I got him on Google Maps, I got his website updated, I got him on Yelp, all of these different platforms, and reinvigorated his business. And we're seeing a very similar shift now, almost about 10 years later, where this is a massive shift where it used to be all print material was your advertising, and now we're switching from people finding you on Google Maps and online to people finding you on AI. So it's very interesting. It's been about a decade, and we're seeing another just major shift in how consumers are finding businesses.
How many people here have used Google Maps to find a business? Raise your hand. I expect 100% of you to raise your hand. And how many people have used AI to find a business? That's like pretty much everyone as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's over 50% here. If you see that, you know, that's kind of 100% still use Google Maps, and that's still going to be a major thing. But as you're seeing, right, just from this small sample size, over 50% are using AI.
So the searches have definitely changed, though. I'm sure you guys have experienced this too. Result-based searches used to be like pool heater installation, Tempe. And now you're like Kim, and I say, I feel like I'm not using my pool enough in Arizona because it stays pretty chilly throughout the year, regardless of the temperature outside. I wish I could swim in my pool all year round. Will a pool heater help this? What are pool heater companies who can help me? It's very long-winded, and that is how we talk to Google now, essentially, and talk to AI.
Yeah, so it used to be you wanted to rank for best industry for this area, right? And that's like all of your SEO was focused on ranking for that type of keyword. Best dentist in Scottsdale. And yet now what people are doing is asking questions, because they just go on to ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, they click the phone record, and then they talk into their phone. And so now they're asking questions, and this is why we name this the age of answers, because we're switching from search results to answer-based questions. And you need to make sure you're answering your clients' questions on your website or other places that they're looking in order to be shown on AI search results. So we all know AI gets confused. It hallucinates probably 30% of the time. It gives wrong answers. And one of the things that I found very fascinating when I started getting all of my clients showing up on AI search results was that one of our clients, UND Flight School, wasn't showing up at all. And we have them ranking #1 for all these search terms in Mesa, Arizona, Phoenix, and yet they weren't showing up. And typically speaking, if you have very good SEO and your websites are ranking very high, you almost always show up for at least some of the AI search results, and they weren't showing up at all. So I really started digging in. Why aren't these guys showing up or ranking #1? And what I ended up finding is that the UND flight school here in Mesa is actually a satellite location from the North Dakota University major flight program. And there was a sentence on the North Dakota home website that said that this was not a fully functioning school, that it was like a place that you could fly in and out of and get your flight hours. In reality, you can get your 2-year associate's degree at the chapter here, you can get your accelerated pilot's license, and then if you want to get your 4-year degree, you can go online and stay here. And so AI was just very confused. So I actually had to have the main homepage update their website, because the UND flight school here has their own website. I had to update that website to be more clear, and then I started putting out a ton of content around this is actually what we're offering, these are the degrees you can get, and then I actually started getting us on articles outside of the website to show all that up as well. And within 3 months of me going from them not listing at all for nothing, we're now ranking #1 from almost every single AI
Google
search
Maps,
question that I try and
yeah.
ask. A recent study was shown that AI actually sources 50% of its information from web pages that are 500 days old or older. And so what we're seeing that is it's really important to start getting on AI now. Maybe for your industry, only 10% of consumers are using AI to find their customers. Maybe it's 50%. It depends on the industry. But what we're seeing again is it's so important to get on now, because once it gets up to 50% of consumers are using AI, then everyone's going to want to be it.